Hey, good morning. We're live at Mission Hills at the Wellington Steak and Martini Lounge, voted the sexiest steak place. Learning today how to make scraps of food into gourmet meals with Chef Miguel. What time is it? It's time to wake up, San Diego.
Wake up, wake up.
Oh, Renee drew the short straw this morning.
Oh yeah, she's gonna have a little steak and a martini at what time?
Somebody had to do it before 7 a.m. How you doing? Guys, good morning. Mission Hills, we're at the Wellington, and Chef Miguel Valdez is here joining us this morning. Okay, you were voted here the sexiest steakhouse 2001 from the San Diego Magazine. That's a pretty big honor.
Yes, it is. It's a very big honor. You know, I mean, I think it deserves it. It's a very beautiful restaurant. You know, I mean, there's nothing you can say about it. You know,
it's sexy. Let's just say it's very
sexy.
Exactly, sexy. Okay, so this morning, in addition to being sexy, you also have a tip for our viewers because you've been a chef for a long, long time, and you had a dream when you were a little boy, and if you can show the pictures, it just is precious. You always wanted to be in the kitchen. You always knew you wanted to be a chef when you were growing up. And you now want to let people know you don't have to spend a ton of money. You can take scraps of food and turn it into a beautiful gourmet meal. You got a dish you're gonna make for us today.
Yes, this is a prosciutto wrapped watermelon. The watermelon comes exactly from the garden. Also the arugula, the fennel, the tops. You know, we got an assortment of vegetables that we get right here that come from the garden. You name it. Anything that's coming in from the summer, flowers, greens, tomatoes, carrot tops, beet greens, beets. You know, I mean, we try to utilize every single little part as possible. We even have the watermelon rinds that we pulled out, and you know, we pickle them.
Now, I think most people after a barbecue or something, I mean, they just toss those watermelon rinds. Why? You know, you think, why in the heck would I want to save them? So you save them, and then what do?
We make a pickling brine. So, you know, it has like coriander, star anise. We a little bit of sugar, brown sugar, salt, vinegar, and then all we do is we cook it down and pickle them into these little jars. And these jars, I save them. I save them from all, you know, I mean, all sorts of places that I get my own jams.
Reuse, recycle, repurpose, my friend.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to toss the salad together for us this morning. And what are the other ingredients?
So this is arugula right here, and then we got some watermelon that came from the garden. This is yellow watermelon.
Watermelon, yum.
What I did is sometimes when the beginning of the season starts coming out, this is not as sweet as possible, you know, as it possibly can be. So you want to help it out a little bit. So what I did is I got a little bit of vinegar, red wine vinegar, and I let them soak in there for a second. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just toss the arugula because this is already soaked in with a little bit of vinegar and sugar. I'll lay my greens down, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my
beautiful. It's so decorative and gorgeous.
Yeah, and so all I did is I wrapped some prosciutto around the watermelon. I grilled it on a couple sides just to get a nice char, smoky flavor. And what I'm going to do here is get a little bit of goat cheese that I grinded up in little balls.
And of course the fennel here. I'll add my finishing touches over here. Just kind of sprinkle.
Yeah. What you would do is you would get a couple of these and you would start pickle them, and then you reel them out. Perfect.
Beautiful. Okay, we have a second left, so we'll just go ahead and taste this deliciousness. Okay, I love the yellow watermelon. That is sensational. So again, we're gonna have the recipe on our website, but things that you would throw away, like the watermelon rind, or if you'd maybe just toss the fennel if you think you're done with it, you don't have to do that. Some gourmet meals, and Chef Miguel is going to teach us how to do that all morning long. Mark and Heather?
And save a little money, too, if we use it all.
Exactly. You got to save the cha-ching.
There you go, Renee.
Save that money.
All right, Renee's in Mission Hills, are you this morning?
Yeah, good morning, guys. It's a little classic guitar from Fred Benedetti, and we are enjoying the Wellington Steak and Martini Lounge, voted the sexiest steak place in all of San Diego by the San Diego Magazine. These folks are enjoying some wonderful meals, and the creator of all of them is Chef Miguel Valdez. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
We are so excited. One of the things that you're sharing with our viewers this morning that folks may not know if they are not familiar with the Wellington is that you reuse, recycle, and repurpose ingredients, scraps of food that we may just toss out, you use in your recipes.
Yeah, I try to use as much as I can from that's coming from the garden. You know, everything you get from nature, it's it's usable. So carrot tops are one of the available things that you can able to use and refurbish.
Right. So carrot tops are what you put in here, and you're going to make a beet salad for us this morning. We don't see any orange. Where in the heck are those carrot tops?
The carrot tops are right over on this side. You get them right over here. So what you do is you start peeling these things right off the top, and this is what you would get. You want to get the petite stuff. You don't want to get the big, thick stuff because then it can be really bitter.
And you put that in the blender, and what else is in this?
You get some olive oil, some almonds, vinegar, salt and pepper, shallots, garlic.
Okay, well, I'm in the mood for some beet salad, so how do we toss it all together?
So right here I have some beet greens and radish greens that I got off the radishes. So I'm going to toss some purple beans from the garden, some radishes. They're shaved really super thin.
Little salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper, always, always, always. There you go. So we're going to throw some vinaigrette right on top.
Okay, while he's finishing the touches on that, I got to tell you that Fred Benedetti is here every Tuesday night for some live entertainment. He is also the head of the guitar department at San Diego State, and he plays all over town. So it's just an amazing place to come and enjoy. We're going to put the finishing touches on this and have a little taste. Looks good.
Flowers, some radish flowers.
Okay.
And radish flowers are one of the things that are coming out right now in the summer, so it's really important to utilize everything.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to be back this morning making new recipes. Again, reuse, repurpose, and recycle. And this guy is the one to do it. We'll see you in a little bit.
All right. Renee, thank you.
Hey, good morning. We are live in Mission Hills at the Wellington Steak and Martini Lounge, learning how to reuse, repurpose, and recycle ingredients to make gourmet meals. What time is it, ladies and gentlemen? It's time to wake up, San Diego.
Start the morning with a martini and a steak, shall we?
Yeah, why not?
And some great classical jazz music this morning, too.
I'll take it.
Hi, guys.
Sold.
Yeah, we'll take it. Good morning. We're live at the Wellington in Mission Hills, and I think the folks heard the word martini, and they just got right onto that bandwagon. Chef Miguel Valdez, he is here. He is cooking things up for us, and this morning talking about reusing ingredients you might just throw away and making it into a gourmet meal. What are you cooking for us?
I got filet tips actually from the tenderloin. So I use tenderloin tips and I reuse them and I make a filet crostini with it.
So you think that you may just cut off the ends of the fillets and just toss them, but you actually use you make a whole other meal out of this.
Yes, exactly. I try to utilize as much products as possible that I have in my kitchen, pork scraps, tenderloin scraps, anything that's really usable still that you don't have to throw away, I try to use it as much as possible.
All right, so you're cooking those up for us, and then also you've got some other delicious ingredients. You're throwing some tomatoes in there.
Cherry tomatoes, that's seasonal right now. It's stuff that's coming out of the garden. You got a variety of stuff that's coming from the garden, citruses, tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, radishes, everything. You know, I'm using the carrot tops for pesto that we have for this dish actually.
That's right. It doesn't look orange, but carrot tops are in here. They were all blended, and this is the delicious sauce that you're going to add to the dish.
Exactly. We make a pesto out of the dish. We use chipotle. We use the carrot tops, and then we blend it. A little bit olive oil, garlic.
You need a little salt and pepper on there, don't you?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll add that.
Go for it.
Now, I've got to mention, while the chef is busy preparing the meal, he's a very inspirational chef. Not just delicious food and very insightful with his reuse, repurpose, and reusing all of the ingredients, but his past is a very inspirational story. And just for our viewers, just real briefly, I know that you are very open about sharing that you had. You said that you would. You had some challenges with drugs and alcohol and in gangs, and you actually spent some time in jail. Yeah. What was the incentive for you to turn your life around?
Just people I talked to in jail, you know, also, you know, I mean, they gave me the inspiration to say, you know what, you don't want to be in here. You want to take the chances, and you know, you're always going to have a second chance, and if you don't, you're going to be stuck in there. So I took the advantage and said, you know what, I'm not going to get back in there. I want to be able to, you know, give out and do something really important. So
you also had a goal that you, by the age of 35, were going to be an executive chef. Not only did you make that happen at 28, but you have won an amazing award that only a few people in California received.
Yeah, it's the Diversity Award. It's for achieving my goals before, you know, coming through hard times. I grew up in, you know, in Logan Heights, you know, gangs, violence, drugs, and trying to get out of that, you know, I mean, pushed me to strive myself to becoming a chef and saying, you know what, I can do something better for my life and then give back to the community and people that need the same thing.
Any last words of encouragement to folks who have gone through challenges that can come out on the other side like you did?
Just don't give up, you know, give yourself an opportunity to give yourself a chance and say, you know what, I can do it, and then, you know, talk to other people who've gone through the same problems and see, you know, I mean, you can get out of there and achieve your goals.
All right, Chef Miguel, thank you so much. All right, some delicious breakfast and inspirational story, and this place was voted the sexiest steak and martini lounge in all of America's finest city. Mark and Heather?
The sexiest. Arr.
Yes.
All right. Renee, thanks.
Hey, good morning. We are live in Mission Hills at the Wellington, turning our attention to cocktails, how you can reuse, repurpose, and recycle ingredients and use things from your own garden to make some snazzy cocktails. Right now, what time is it, guys? It's time to wake up, San Diego. Wake up, Kimmy.
Renee.
Oh, she's
Hi there.
mellowing out there, little music.
Yeah, by
Mellowing
8:35.
out.
How many martinis has Renee had?
You know what? My limit is 7. No more than 7 martinis
Yeah.
for breakfast. Isn't that right, Mike?
I would say so.
Seven.
Seven's probably a good number.
It's a good number. Yeah, okay, Frankie's muddling here, and we do have our martini glass. We're gonna make a yummy drink coming up. We're talking this morning, the guys from Snake Oil Cocktail don't throw anything out from the garden, and in fact use cool ingredients from the garden to make cocktails, and you can teach us how to do that at home.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we have here is we've pickled all the watermelon rinds. We've also pickled a lot of carrots and just different ingredients from the garden. Also, we just make sure that nothing really gets thrown away. It's all kept and it's all used, whether it's muddled down or built into a syrup.
So if you're gonna take things that you normally would throw away, what do you just kind of put it on one side of the sink and just bag it? How do you make sure it doesn't get tossed?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the best way to do it, is to just take the the parts of it, the really interesting parts of it that you need for the drink, and use those first, and then for the stuff that you're going to put in and either muddle down or that you're going to build into a syrup, you should take that and put that separately.
Perfect. All right, so Frankie, tell us about the first drink you're making.
Yeah, making the Goldfinch in the Garden. So this is a beautiful, lovely drink. The light perfume comes from fresh lemon verbena. You can see we've plucked some right out of the garden this morning in the big vase right over there.
Beautiful.
It has a lovely fragrance, just a touch of lemony flavor, and we're going to mix that with a little bit of honey, some fresh pressed orange juice, and some American Harvest vodka.
A little shake in there, shaken not stirred.
Get it all.
So what's nice with
Mixed
this
up.
cocktail too is it can be fully organic. You can grow it in your garden, and then with American Harvest vodka, I mean, you basically have a fully organic product at the end of the day. And so it's really nice to bring into restaurants and also to have at home.
Wonderful. All right, our second drink this morning that you're going to make also has a fresh garden twist.
Yeah. So Frankie has a drink that it's gonna go in a rocks glass over some ice.
Using something that you can actually forage. So you can find this in your backyard. It grows all over San Diego. It's called coyote mint. And we're going to make the best mint julep you ever had with it. It's just absolutely crazy what this stuff can do.
Yeah, take that, Kentucky Derby. Take that. We got our own mint julep here.
We call this the Howlin' Julep. And it's fantastic. So we got just a little bit of the muddled mint because we actually have prepared a mint syrup already that's really extracted the flavor from the mint.
Perfect. So again, don't throw any of the mint away. You can use it in your syrup.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the most pretty parts. You can use, just a little good stuff in it.
So the coyote mint is actually local to San Diego, and in addition to that, the mint julep. I mean, it's a perfect summertime drink. So I think here at the Wellington, it's a great fit, especially for a seasonal cocktail.
And these guys here from Snake Oil Cocktail, Frankie and Mike, they are now working for the Wellington, so they come up with these cool craft cocktails, and of course everything's reused, repurposed, recycled, and from the garden. So we're gonna taste these at our commercial break, but any last thing that you'd like to say about how folks can use things in their own garden?
Well, I would just say just be creative with it and think about how you can look at these flavors. To be honest, I mean, the internet is a really great resource about learning how to make these kinds of syrups and reductions, and also what to do on the pickling side. I mean, you can save stuff for winter and the summer now.
I love it. Thank you guys so much. And of course, we've got the beautiful guitar playing from Fred here. He's here every Tuesday night, and he gets the Steak and Martini Lounge a hop and voted sexiest steakhouse in San Diego. Of course, I think these guys had something to do with it. Just a little bit. Mark and Heather?
Renee, thanks.
You got it.
Cheers. Steakhouse.
Renee, so Renee's this morning has been making meals from scraps.
Meals from scraps?
Yeah. It's so cool. They
Those
also
are
do it
called
with
leftovers,
cocktails.
right?
Absolutely. We're live at the Wellington this morning in Mission Hills. And Frankie from Snake Oil Cocktails, also, they use the ingredients to make some delicious cocktails. And what are you making for us this morning?
I'm making a Barbados blackstrap.
Ooh.
So it's berry season right now. Berries are kicking. So I'm making with blackberries, fresh garden blackberries, a little bit of some delicious rum here to give it a little bit of potency. And then we've gone ahead and made a thyme syrup. So we've taken some fresh thyme and infused it into a syrup, and we've also got some fresh lime juice. So it's kind of celebrating the berries and the herbs of the season.
It's delicious. They're also using things from their own garden, and you can do that too. So it's making the cocktails. We're also got some beautiful entertainment from Fred over here. That's right, Fred, a classic guitarist. He is here every Tuesday night to get the ambiance on, and not to mention that this place, the Wellington, voted sexiest steak and martini lounge in all of San Diego. I think you can see why. All right, so finishing touches on the drink.
So we're gonna pour our cocktail. Look at that beautiful color from the berries. Garnish with a nice ripe blackberry. It's gonna be plenty of thyme essence just floating off that drink. This is a perfect summer cocktail.
It is, and tell me about these two that you have already made.
It's the Howlin' Mint Julep. So we've gone ahead and foraged some of the actually coyote mint from the valleys and canyons and stuff of San Diego. So it's foraged cocktail with some whiskey. It's a take on a julep. The other one is the Goldfinch in the Garden, which is fresh garden lemon verbena, a little bit of cucumber scraps from the kitchen, some fresh orange, and a little bit of American Harvest vodka. So very delicate but lovely.
Frankie from Snake Oil Cocktails, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Don't throw cheers. Yeah, don't throw any of the scraps out because you can make delicious cocktails and you can also make delicious meals. And the star of our show, we've got Chef Miguel. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I'm excited for some Venus clams. What in here have you reused, recycled, and repurposed?
Well, we have a pork loin that we use from it's Duroc pork, and it's a great product. But on top of that, we usually clean it off, and a lot of times it gets discarded because no one wants to use the pork skin. So I use it and I make chicharron with it. So I put it in the oven, roast it really slow, and then I pull it out, and then I chop it up, and I throw it back into the Venus clams. Give it the nice salty, porky taste, you know, just the love in there.
The love, and nothing gets thrown out. You gotta love all your ingredients, whether they're scraps or the main thing.
Yeah, you gotta use everything, making sure you don't waste, you know, as much as you can. You know, we try to incorporate as much items from the garden to really feature it as much as we can.
Yeah, and speaking of the garden, you've got some fresh things here. I know earlier you made a beautiful pesto sauce and you incorporated some of the carrot tips from that.
Yeah, we use the carrot tops for everything now. Garnish, you know, drinks, you name it, pesto, sauces, you know, it's just incredible. It's almost like using it like parsley.
Now let's talk about the ingredients in this beautiful Venus clams dish.
So we got some cherry tomatoes, pork skin, white beans, white wine, butter. Then we can put a little crostinis on top. And then we throw a little chives. And there you go.
That looks good enough to eat, my friend.
And a lot of the stuff we get locally. So, you know, I mean, we work with specialty produce, Catalina Offshore. You know, we work with all local farmers as much as we can, Steely's Farms. And even if we can't reach out our stuff in our own garden, we can reach out to the local farmers and local fishermen.
And one of the things that's amazing is that the owner, Trish, has her own garden. So all of these are coming locally or organically grown.
Yes, exactly. She grows her own stuff and she picks it herself early in the morning. I drop off compost. We make a trade, get my buckets back, and I make sure my cooks are dropping off the compost every week as much as we can, and then I pick up the produce and drop it back off, clean it up, break it down, and we use it that day.
Wonderful. All right, Chef Miguel, thank you so much, and a wonderful thank you to Fred, our classic guitarist over here, who, by the way, is the head of the guitar department at San Diego State. So it's top notch here at the Wellington, voted the sexiest steakhouse in all of San Diego. Enjoy, guys, and remember, when you come here, it's all fresh from the garden, reused, recycled, repurposed, and delicious. Have a great Tuesday.
All right, thanks, Renee.